Hey there, it's David H. Lawrence the 17th, and you may have noticed that I am fascinated with systems. I'm fascinated with the ways to get things done. And I've tried or sampled or given my all to a number of different ways of staying organized and being productive and setting up systems so that there's a logical progression, and it kind of fights all the time with the left and right hand sides of my brain. I kind of get a charge out of being able to do something artistic, but doing it with a process, doing it with a system that makes sense. And I've tried everything that's come down the pike, stuff that's been, in the 80s and the 90s, in the 2000s, in the second decade of the millennia. And I came across a method that I'd heard about before because the name was familiar to me. And then when I was reacquainted with the story, I thought, well, I'll give that a shot. And so I did. So there was, you've heard of Charles Schwab. Now it's known, that name's best known as an investment advisory house, an investment service. You can invest in stocks and they can give you. Anyway, Charles Schwab was an early 20th century, late 19th century, earliest 20th centuries mogul. And he approached a guy by the name of Ivy Lee. So Ivy Lee, I-V-Y, usually a female name, but in this case, a guy, Ivy Lee. And he said, look, I want to make my people more productive. What can you do for me? And Ivy interviewed his executives to find out what they were doing, which is always great. And then he came to him with this process. He said, look, this is how your people are working, and this is where I see it can get better. And give it a shot and see what happens. And Charles Schwab said, okay, how much? How much did that cost me? And he goes, you know what? See if it works. And if after a few months it works for you, pay me what you think it's worth. And he ended up giving him a great deal of money, a lot of money for those days, hundreds of thousands of dollars in today's dollar. And it's pretty simple. And it kind of ties in with what we've said in the past about list building the night before when you go to bed, and then reviewing that list and maybe adjusting it the next day. But it's very specific in how you do it. And it's analog. It's not digital. You could do it with a digital to-do list, but there's a joy in part of it that I think is really cool. And so I want to show you the last 3 days or so of my Ivy Lee method. See these 3 little Post-it notes here? That's for each day. And if you'll notice, there is an item, 3 items on each one in order, and they're crossed off. So remember that. The thing is, you want to make a list of things to do, short, not huge, so that you look at it and you go, huh. But a list of things that you definitely want to get accomplished the next day. You want to put it on a piece of paper so that you can put them in order. So you do your items, but then you want to put them in order. I'm just peeling this off so you can see what I'm talking about. Notice how each one of those has a number associated with it. That's the order. And then as you do it, as you put them in order, make sure that you really, really critically look at that order. Is this something I have to get done today? That absolutely goes up as number 1 or number 2. Is this something I'd really like to get done today? Maybe a little bit lower on the list. And there isn't any room when you make the list that short for stuff that, hey, I'd really like to get it done, but I can't. And the good news is if you get all 3 things done before noon, just create a new list. That's the cool part. But as you do each thing, so you wake up the next morning, I woke up the next morning and I had these things to do. And as I did them, I crossed them off. So when you cross them off, there's a psychological thing that happens that's really, really cool. And by the way, I took those. I use a Levenger notebook for my stuff, and I put a little insert in the Levenger notebook that is a set of pads of different Post-it notes of different sizes that I can use and just sort of call out things. And as I do it, I just cross it off. When I get the list done, I pull the thing off and I throw it away. There is a sense of satisfaction to that isn't the same when you simply click a button to check off what you've done. So just like I showed you with taking notes and having to-dos with the little check boxes. Now what I do when I take notes is I transfer those to that list, and it's just little short things. It doesn't take any time at all, but it does get everything in order, and it's really, really effective. So as you cross it off, you write through it, you strike through it, and that really gives you a sense of accomplishment. Now, what happens if you can't get things done? Well, all you do is transfer it that night to the next day's list. And you check again. Is this really something that's important? Do I have to get this done today? Then it goes at number 1 or number 2, right? So it follows through and it keeps you focused on the stuff that really matters, the stuff that you need to get done first, the stuff that's most critical. And you get that wonderful sense of satisfaction of crossing it off when you're done. Crossing it off. I love it. I really do love it. And it's been really helpful to me. It's, I've had a lot of things to do over the last few months, getting the site up, the new VOHeroes site up, getting prepared for the launch that's happening starting tomorrow. The launch is happening starting tomorrow. We're introducing a new class and a new set of courses and a new way of discussing things in the private used to be the private Facebook group, now private group on the website. And there's a lot of details to worry about, a lot of things that are going on. And this has really kept me sane. And I think I'm going to keep using this. Sometimes the old ways are the best ways. So let me know what you think of this. Is this something that might be helpful to you? Is this something that is close to something that you do? Is it something like this that you do? It's again called the Ivy Lee method. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'd love to know what your thoughts are once you've seen this and how it works. And if you'd like to get on my list, well, there's a box below that says get on the list, and that'll be my mailing list, and I'll send you new things on a regular basis on how to make your life more spectacular when it comes to performance, voiceover, on camera, stage, commercials, etc., and just in general making your life easier on yourself and your success. I'm David H. Lawrence, the 17th. I thank you so much for watching. I'm excited about tomorrow. Can't wait. And I thank you so much, and I'll talk to you soon.